Hola, hola everyone. My name is Gabby y bienvenidos a mi YouTube channel. If you are new here, I would love to give you a warm welcome. Thank you for stopping by my channel. I make college life content, and now that I'm currently in Puerto Rico visiting my family, I'm vlogging some of my adventures. So, if you would like to join the family, I would really appreciate it so that you can just stick around and enjoy some of the videos that I'm producing for you guys. I don't know. Today's video might be a little bit on the lengthy side just because this topic is near and dear to my heart. I was struggling with this decision of what to study or what to major in the entire first semester of my college year, and so I want to give you all the tools to help you out before you get there, or if you are in that position right now, and everything that I learned through that first semester and what helped me out. So that's what I'm going to be covering. I'm going to leave timestamps in the description down below. However, I do recommend watching the entire video if you are struggling to make this decision right now, as everything that I'm going to tell you was essential in me coming to this decision that I made and being at peace with it. But that's all I'm going to say, so let's jump into it. First, I want to start with a little bit of background on what led to my major crisis, pun intended. And if you see me looking down, is because I outlined this entire video because I didn't want to babble so much. So for most of my life, I thought, okay, I'm going to be a doctor. I'm going to end up doing something in the medicine field. And I never considered other possibilities, which, looking back, I think I should have spent more time looking into different careers while I was in high school, because now everything is like happening so fast and I don't have as much time to look into the different careers that I could have explored more. But also during this time in high school, I started getting very interested in law, in following criminal cases in the media, and then I took civics class my senior year of high school, and I was in love with it. Everybody hated the class, but I loved learning about law and about all the changes like in government and everything like that. I was thinking, okay, maybe I want to be a lawyer. I had applied for college as a biology major, and I was starting to question it. I was like, oh my gosh, should I switch? Should I not? I had talked to college advisors and they were like, well, don't switch unless that you're very sure about making that switch. So, of course, I'm terrible at making concrete decisions, and I did not make the switch. There is no such thing as a pre-law degree. Essentially, to get into law school, you just need a bachelor's degree in any given field, because law literally covers every field that you can even think about. And I was like, okay, I guess we're going into this as biology. And this will take me to the first tip, which is to join clubs like pre-med society, pre-law society, mock trial team, which is what I did, and it was super helpful. And speak to other students that are studying in those majors, because that will help you see what they're being exposed to on the daily, what they are learning, and if you are interested in switching to learning that or going into that if you haven't chosen your major yet. During this process, I would also ask about the pros and the cons in that program in your university. Maybe it is not the university's strength, and that is totally okay, but you would like to know this if you're thinking about going into this field, because maybe you will need to transfer to a different college that is better suited for the degree that you're trying to pursue. So you talk to students. Great. Second tip is to talk to faculty. Faculty from the different departments that you're interested in. I was interested in criminology and psychology, so I talked to people from that department, and they were able to give me more resources for me to explore my interests. For example, I was able to attend a career fair for the criminology department, which helped me see what careers are out there if I choose to pursue this major. I was also able to sit in on a class from the criminology department, which was super eye-opening to me because it showed me what they were learning, and I actually did want to learn more about that. I just advise you to talk to the faculty because they will provide you with more resources to navigate this process a little bit better. My third tip is to research the field that you're interested in, and I have 3 bullet points that I'm just going to read off of here. Salary. Look at that income. How does it compare from field to field? Is that something that matters to you? Does it align with the kind of lifestyle that you want to have? And be realistic with yourself. Second thing is to See what level of education is needed to get a good paying position. I was considering getting a psychology degree, and after looking into the field, I realized that it is very saturated. Don't get me wrong, if you're a psychology major, there's still hope and like you can succeed. But it is a little bit harder because there's so many people out there with a psychology major. So the opportunities are limited when finding a job unless you have like a PhD or something. So if you're willing to go that extra mile to get a PhD, that is totally good. But that's not something that I wanted to do specifically with psychology, so I decided that that was not the major for me. And number 3 is, what are the possible careers with that degree? I am currently a biology major. There's tons of things that I can do with that. I could go to vet school, med school, PA school. I could go to law school, go into research. So there is a lot of avenues that you can take after you major in a certain field. So look at what those opportunities are and if they interest you. Before I say tip number 4, I know that you guys have been hearing the rooster, but it will not shut up. So I'm sorry, it's just gonna have to be in the background. But tip number 4 is to think about your priorities. Do you want a job that has a good family life and work-life balance? Are you more of a career-oriented person and you know that being successful in your career is a priority for you and you're willing to sacrifice some family time? Obviously, the jobs out there available to you are going to differ a lot depending on your priorities. So just think about those and what jobs will be available to you after you graduate. And yeah, that should help a little bit. Tip number 5, I recommend doing, even if you're in high school, because I wish I would have done it when I was in high school, and it is to shadow people in the field that you're interested in. Maybe you want to be a doctor, shadow a doctor. Try to network and make those connections because that will give you a picture of what your life will look like if you go into that field. Ask them about their favorite part of their job, their least favorite part of the job. If you're not able to shadow a person in that career, try to find a person who is in that career and try to ask them questions about it, take notes. I was given advice one time to start a journal and write things down about the experiences that you've had, the things that you liked about their experience, the things that you didn't like about the experience, because then you can look back on those notes. It would be helpful to do that for applying to grad school because maybe you can look back and be like, this is a very special moment and it is where I knew I wanted to pursue this, and you can just refer back to your notes. So that is important. Those are my 5 tips, but now we're gonna get into the section of things that really helped me figure out what to do in this major crisis, okay? So I'm just gonna be telling you a little bit more about my experience and how I came to be at peace with my decision. I recommend thinking through your decision and why it makes sense for you. For example, when I started last August as a biology major, I remember feeling so pressured to pursue this degree, and I couldn't see how that degree made sense for me since I was so convinced that I wanted to go into law instead of medicine. It took me doing all that research and learning a little bit more about it to be sure that that was the right decision for myself. So I would say listen to you. Of course, take advice from people that are important to you, but ultimately it is your decision and you're gonna be the one dealing with that choice at the end of the day. So number 2 is think through some of your characteristics or qualities that you want to showcase in your job. Obviously, you are not going to be different people at your house or at your job, but there are different parts of yourself that you're putting out there. And for example, to me, it was important to have a social aspect in my career. I don't want to be sitting at a desk all day. I want to be able to have one-on-one interactions with people, so that is something that I definitely considered when making my decision to stay in this degree. Number 3 is to sort out between hobbies and careers. What are some things that I'm willing to give up from a career standpoint, but I'm still able to pursue as a hobby, or that I can incorporate into my career later on? Be realistic about money with yourself. I had to think through how much money I could survive off of with only a major, bachelor's degree, I mean. Because you never know what life can throw at you, and although it is my intention to pursue more education after I graduate, that may not be possible if something happened. So biology just seemed like a good fit for me with that money aspect also. Next thing that helps me is to realize that I have more than one passion, that I can use my passions in a career, also outside of my career, that my career does not need to be defined by my passion. So for example, one of my passions is to learn and educate more about sex education and the foster care system and how they contribute to each other and all that. I wanted to do that through law, and through changing policy, but I can also help with the foster care system in a different role from the medical field. So there's a lot of ways that you can pursue your passions, and that's just something that you need to keep in mind, because it was kind of hard to come to that conclusion. But yeah, prioritize your own priorities, which I kind of alluded to earlier. Listen to yourself and trust your decisions, even if you change your mind. Every time that you make a decision, you're making a decision with the best knowledge that you have in that moment. So don't blame yourself if you change your mind later on when you come to like a different amount of information or a different set of information. Because if you're hard on yourself about changing your mind, then like you're not gonna go anywhere, okay? So allow yourself to change your mind as you learn new things. That's literally my next thing that I have written here. And then the next thing is knowing that everything will be okay. Take everything one step at a time. I know it's hard to do that, and it's hard for me to do that. I am a biology major, and I made that decision, and I'm pretty sure about that decision, but I have no idea what I'm gonna do after I graduate yet. I don't know if I'm gonna be a PA, a doctor, or a lawyer, and that is sometimes hard to think about. I wanna know already. But even though I don't know at this specific moment, I am taking those steps. I'm trying to learn as much as I can. I'm planning on shadowing, and I am taking those steps to get there so that I can make the right decision for me in that moment. Don't put that much pressure on yourself to have everything figured out right now. I promise you, we're all in the same boat, learning as we go, figuring things out. Most of us don't know, but it'll be all good. And you are learning so many things that maybe are not even related to the career field that you're going into, but are just related to life. So take it easy, it'll all be good. Anyways, with that said, I know I talked a lot in this video, but it was all important. So hopefully you're still here. And yeah, I hope that you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching. If you're not subscribed yet, please subscribe and help me reach that goal of 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, peoples. I will see you on the next video, and